Now, a lot of people on the left all across the country were out there protesting last night. They were protesting Trump's election. Some of it got violent. In Los Angeles, for example, there was a highway, main big highway, that was shut down by about 100 demonstrators. Look who's with us now, Sheriff Clarke, coming in to us from Milwaukee. Sheriff, what do you think about these protests last night?
Stuart, first of all, it is a great day in America. There's no sweeter sound to my ears than the phrase President-elect Donald Trump. Look, these are anarchists. These are the ones that we've been putting up with, the cop haters, for a long time. They are in shock. They're in shock because the liberal mainstream media made everybody believe that Mrs. Bill Clinton would be the next president of the United States. They never saw this coming, so they're going through stages of grief. One of the first stages is outrage and anger over what has just happened. But we have a time-honored tradition in this country, okay, and it's gone back all the way to the beginning of the Constitution. It is called the peaceful transfer of power. Mrs. Bill Clinton called for it yesterday. Barack Obama called for it yesterday. I expect these anarchists to follow what their leaders are saying. Look, I'll be patient with them for a little bit. I know what they're going through, but think about this, Stuart. In 2008, when Barack Obama was elected, and in 2012, I didn't see anybody on the right taking to the streets. We honored the results. Maybe we didn't like it. Maybe we're disappointed. But that is a time-honored tradition in this country that has to be upheld. So I'll give them a little time to get over their grief, and then it's time to quell this stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what I want to talk about. You say it's time to quell this stuff. That was the expression that you used. When I hear a law enforcement officer use the word quell, it makes me think that you're going to use some force. You think that's in order?
Peaceful protest is another time-honored tradition in this country. Some of this got violent last night. Once the violence starts, then law enforcement has to go in and use all reasonable force. I'm never going to back off on that because the rule of law must be upheld in this country. Property must be protected. Lives must be safeguarded. So like I said, you know, give them a little time, but once it starts to get out of hand, yes, then you have to go in and use force.
Well, now we're into an area of civil disobedience. In Los Angeles last night, they closed down a major highway. 100 people got out there. Traffic disrupted all up and down Los Angeles. People put out. What should happen to those people? Surely they should be arrested, charged, and fined heavily for what they've done. But so often in the past, you let them off with a tap on the wrist and they're out within a couple of hours. I mean, what are you going to do about that?
Well, not in Milwaukee. That's not how it happened. When they took the freeway over a year ago, December, 100 people went onto the interstate system. 78 of them were arrested. I believe in making mass arrests. Some of them had to spend several days in jail before they were processed out. They were in shock about that. Many of them said, we didn't think we'd be arrested. I do not believe with some of the tactics used by some of the law enforcement executives, not the cops. They're not making these decisions, the cops at street level. But I don't subscribe to that, and I go back to how this thing went in the 60s when they tried this appeasement thing. More people got hurt, more people got killed, more property was damaged because they took the soft approach. So you got to find that sweet spot, that balance. That's why I said patient for a little while. As long as it's peaceful, fine. And I don't mean peaceful takeover of a freeway system. That's not peaceful protest. They do not have the right to do that sort of thing. So when those sorts of things start to be violated, I expect mass arrests, but I don't control the agencies in those cities. But I know what's going to happen in Milwaukee if that happens.
Now, we were all watching the election results come in on Tuesday night, and when Wisconsin went for Trump, that was pretty much the writing on the wall. I am told that you had something to do with Trump's win in Wisconsin, that you were out and about in the precincts of Milwaukee, and you had an impact. Is that accurate, sir?
Well, I don't know. I'll let the politicals make that decision. Look, I said I would work hard to get Donald Trump elected president of the United States. We also had a United States Senator, Ron Johnson, who was up, and his election had a potential to transfer the balance of power in the Senate, so I fought for him back home here as well. But I was all over this country fighting for Donald Trump. We needed his leadership. I like that Make America Great Again, put America first. When I say I'm committed and I'm in, I demonstrated. I put my money where my mouth is, and I went in there and fought as hard as I could for Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States, which is why I'm ecstatic today.
If offered, would you take any job in the Trump administration?
Well, I think it's a little early for that. Things are settling down. Donald Trump has a lot of decisions to make. Look, let me be clear on this, Stuart. You know, if the president asks you to serve, you serve. Okay, so if that comes, and I say if, I'm the sheriff of Milwaukee County, and I will be the sheriff of Milwaukee County until I'm no longer the sheriff of Milwaukee County, and then I won't be the sheriff of Milwaukee County. But until then, you know, let Donald Trump get his feet underneath him. He's got a lot to do. But, of course, if the president calls on you to serve, you step up and you fulfill that duty.
Yes, sir, you do. We don't want to interrupt your joy, Sheriff, and it was a great pleasure having you back on the show in this Trump era. Congratulations, sir. Welcome back. We'll see you again real soon. Thank you.